Hello students, in the online lecture series of BSc Part 1st Bio of MDS University Ajmer, in paper 1st we are studying about the fossils. In the previous two lectures on fossils we have studied the types of fossils and the process of formation of fossils. Today we will study the conditions of fossilization. Fossilization, as we have studied, is the sum of the phenomena by which the remains of animals or plants are preserved in the earth's crust. But for the fossils to form, there are certain prerequisites. Today we will study about these conditions of fossilization. Now, in order for the fossilization to take place, the following conditions must be fulfilled. The first is the possession of hard parts. Forms having hard parts are much more likely to become fossilized than those which lack a skeleton. The organisms should possess hard parts, that is, bones, teeth, shells, or woody tissue in the case of plants. However, even though the hard parts are normally required, but under unusually favorable conditions, sometimes the delicate organisms may also be preserved as impressions, carbon residue, or as petrifactions. Example of such is a fragile objects as jellyfish and insects have become fossilized. The second important prerequisite is the escape from immediate destruction. The organic remains must escape the immediate destruction after death. Out of the millions or more species of living animals, only a very small percent is preserved as fossils. The remains of most of these organisms are destroyed by the work of atmosphere, by the mechanical forces such as wave action, crushing, and biological agents such as the predators, the scavengers, and bacteria. The possibility that any given animal will leave a fossil record is very small. Now, the third is immediate burial in a medium which is capable of retarding decomposition. This condition is the first prerequisite for fossilization, and it should be such that no oxidation of the material takes place. In general, the type of material in which the remains are buried usually depends on where the organisms lived. The burial is done by water carried sediments deposited in the seas and oceans, especially in the shallower regions and at the river deltas. For example, the bones and the shells of marine animals are common as fossils because they fell on the ocean floor after death. Under such conditions, they were covered by soft mud. When they fell to the floor of the ocean, they were covered by soft mud which later hardened to shales and limestones of later geologic time. The soft muds are less likely to damage the organisms or the organic remains. The burial is also done by lava, by volcanic ash, and by dust, which has yielded fossils of land living organisms. In the land living organisms, the fossils are because of the burial done by the lava, volcanic ash, and dust. After all the conditions of fossilization, we have studied these three conditions, that is the possession of the hard parts, the escape from immediate destruction, and the immediate burial in a medium which is capable of retarding any decomposition of the organisms. When these conditions are fulfilled and the fossils are formed, after that there are various changes to it. We will study these in the subsequent vicissitudes. After all the conditions for fossilizations have been fulfilled, the resultant fossil is subjected to various changes, various vicissitudes. As the time goes on, the changes that take place due to pressure, due to elevation and holding and subsequent erosion of the strata, and due to the slow circulation of acidulated and other waters through the rock either from above or below. The acidulated water dissolves away the shell or bone and the mold is formed or the fossil becomes mineralized. This is known as the petrification. So, once the fossil have started forming, these changes takes place over the period of time and the petrification is done. So, these were the prerequisites for the formation of the fossils. In the next class, we will take up the significance of fossils.